Hi guys, Thomas Moran here. I am back. It's been a while, it's been over a year, but what better time to come back after a lengthy layoff, not only for the Cheltenham Festival 2025, but with 100-to-1 tip. So yeah guys, don't turn off, it is 100-to-1, and if I'm completely honest with you, I won't officially be playing for that 100-to-1 win, but we are playing for place money in this one. Always with bad each way races like this one is, we will be playing for the place money. And today's tip is on the Wednesday for the champion chase is Edwardstone. So I was listening to a video and Richard Hoyles, the ITV presenter, was on there, and he just casually threw in Edwardstone as an interesting each way play for the champion chase on the Wednesday. So I thought I'd have a little look, and I had been looking at this race and not really seen much of it, and I saw 100-to-1 for such a classy horse in a field, guys, where there could be, he might only need to beat 5 rivals, maybe less, for a top 3. And the fact that he's raced against jonbons so many times and actually come fairly close, that's a good sign in my eyes. So I believe the price of 100-to-1 has come mainly for number 1. Alan King's form is not good at the minute, but you know, we've still got a month to go, and he's a cracking trainer. You just don't know, and he's always going to get Edwardstone ready for this one anyway, so that's sort of added into the price. And the fact that the last run, Newbury, 3 o'clock on the 8th of February, wasn't great. It looked on the sort of face of it, it looks pretty bad. It was beaten about 13 lengths in last, but it was ridden prominently, which I don't think is a great idea anyway with this horse. And to be honest, giving £6 away to a chunk of the field because it won this race last time, that was never going to end well anyway. So I think this was more of a sort of prep run. It fell apart the race anyway. Master Chewy went and chewed him up. But for me, that's part of the price. I think otherwise, I think, you know, if Edwardstone comes second, third in this, even with the £6, I think we're looking at around 33-to-1, and the value's not quite there. With 100-to-1 with Bet Victor, as I'll show you here, it's Bet Victor and Unibet, I think we're getting huge place money. 20-to-1 on a horse, a class horse like this that's rated in the 160s. I think it's 159 now, but rated there in a race where it's going to be second, third you're playing for, unless jonbon either pulls out or there is a situation where it doesn't run, it's any kind of race. But the runners it would be racing against, this is a fair fight, really. You know, most of these aren't going to turn up, but these aren't great 160 horses, a lot of these. And I think 20-to-1, you might even be able to get beat by one of these as well, and you're still getting your 20-to-1. We know with Edwardstone, loves Cheltenham. That's a huge thing. You look through the Cheltenham form here, it's hardly run one bad race here. It's won at Cheltenham before 2022 over 2 miles. And you know, one thing I will say about Edwardstone is he does love the backside of jonbon. Every single race he's behind jonbon all the way, and he just can't get close enough to him. He only got beat 2 1/4 lengths at the start of the season. Last season 9 lengths. But if you look at all courses, then you know, jonbon, he's always behind. He fell, was running all right there at Sandown in December, but I still think we've got I know he's 11 years old. A lot of people say too old. I don't know. At Cheltenham, one big race left. I think we can pick up that 20-to-1 place money. I was looking through the rest of the field, and it's an interesting one because jonbon, and there'll be some people that fancy going into jonbon at 10-to-11. You know, best price at AK bets here. But for me, I'm not an odds-on backer. Never have been. I mean, I felt a bit sick in my mouth the other day when I backed a 6-to-4 shot and it did win, but I like 2-to-1 and above, and if I can do that, that's great. And jonbon probably is going to win this and could win it fairly comfortably. But again, like I say, if we're playing for the 21 on Edwardstone here, then I'm doing that all day. I was looking through the rest of the field, and Gaelic Warrior 7-to-1. I mean, the Irish seem to sort of beat each other up, and you win one, I win one. 7-to-1, I mean, if you fancy jonbon to win the whole thing, you know, you're only getting 7-to-5 for it to get second or third, and that risk for me, 1.4 in decimal odds, it ain't enough for me. You've got to be looking down the field, and a big part of the problem is a lot of these aren't going to run. So with this 100 to 1, we are risking our stake if it doesn't get there, if Edwardstone doesn't get there, or whatever it is. But I think, considering there is 100 to 1 here, there's no 80 to 1. The best price after that is 66s. So that 34 points, which of course we're probably not really playing for that win part, but you just don't know in anti-post betting. John Bond pulls out anything, then we've got a ridiculous price. But so the 100 to 1 has to be snapped up, in my opinion. I'd put it into little multiples as well, but I was looking through the rest of the field, and I mean, Energumene ran okay, but again, I know Edwardstone was 4 lengths behind Energumene, and it is a top class horse, but it's again that 9 to 1. You're only playing for 1.8 for the place bet. And I found a 50. I know one of the other tipsters found a 50 on the race's website at 40 to 1. Small play, maybe, just not for me. I don't even know if it'll go there. But yeah, guys, so I've come back. First video in over a year, and going for a 100 to 1 shot. I've got 2 others that I've got my nap of the festival. I'll hopefully do that tomorrow. I've got my next best. They're not huge prices, but they're not shorties either, and I really, really fancy them both. So if you do like these videos, guys, please like, subscribe, and I will be putting quite a few Cheltenham bets coming forward, and I've also got one tip, quite a big price for the National. Hope you're good, guys. I hope you've got your Cheltenham bets. You're starting to look at Cheltenham bets coming up, and please let me know who you fancy, what you think of this tip, and of all the other horses that I'm about to tip up over the next few days. Hope you're good, guys. Take care.